Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to day 2 of Python library series. So, in day 2, we will be learning about another library in Python which is known as Pandas. Okay, and this library is basically used for data manipulation. Okay, so what actually is data manipulation? So, suppose you want to create a table. Let's say you have integrated in your website, you want to create the table with the help of Python itself. So at that point of time, you can use the library which is Pandas, wherein you can create the table with the help of data frames. Okay, you can read the CSV file, you can write a CSV file or an Excel file, or you can also read or write or edit or filter some data from a CSV files. For these stuffs, you have to use the library which is known as Pandas. Okay, so we will be actually seeing today, like we'll create a table, okay, which will have some properties to it, like some titles to the table, and then we will also see like how to read that particular CSV file or how to write that CSV file. So the same table, we want to write it in the form of a CSV file. So we'll start off with a CSV file. We'll see how to do the changes in it. Okay. So in order to use the pandas library, so first of all, you need to do the pip install. Okay. So whatever editor you're using, whether it's a Sublime Text Editor or VS Code, you can go ahead in the terminal and just write pip install and then write pandas. That's it. Okay, this will be enough for installing the library from the terminal. Okay, irrespective of whichever editor you're using for your coding. Fine. So now I have the pandas library already installed from the terminal. Okay, so I'll start off with the code. So first, what we have to do, we have to import the library into our coding, right? So I'll write import and I'll write pandas. Okay, and the feature, that means the function which I am taking from panda, that is pd. Okay, so basically pd is a function which will help me to uh, create that particular table which I want to with the help of my data frame. Okay, so in the previous day 1 you have seen like matplotlib. So for that we have used a function. So with the help of function itself you were creating the graph. Similarly, with the help of function pd, which we have imported from this particular model, that is pandas, this will help us to create the data frame which will in turn be in a form of a table. Okay, so now next what we have to do, we have to, let's say I take a variable as data, and inside data I have some values for my table. Okay, so let's say I have a heading as name. Okay, let's say a column as name. Okay, and inside the column I have some names. Okay, so let me give some name. So say Sam. Okay, you need to give a comma after each name. I also have, okay, these are 3 names which I have. Then after this, I also have another column for my table. Let's say that particular column is age. Okay, so I'll write age, and then so here I'll write, let's say 25, 30 and 45. Okay, and I also have another column in this particular table. Let's say it's city. Okay, and the city names, let's say New York, San Francisco. Okay, what else? Okay, let's take another Los Angeles. Okay, so that's my whole uh, the table which I want to be in this particular format. Okay, I can change this off over here so that it remains in the same line. Okay, now after this what we have to do, we have to actually create a table. So we have the values which we wanted in the table, like the column names and whatever should be there inside the column. Next we want to create the particular table. Okay, so for creating a table we have to use data frame. Okay, so for that I'll take a variable df which stands for data frame, and inside that I'll just use the function which is pd, which I have taken as a property from the libraries pandas. Okay, so I'll write over here pd dot data frame. Okay, and inside this I'll just mention the variable which is holding my column names and the elements inside the column. Okay, so I'll just write data. Fine. Now what I want to see is in my terminal, when I try to run this particular code, I want to see these in a form of a table. So for that what we can do, we can just write print, and then df is the variable which is holding my data frame or which is holding my table, right? So I'll just write print df. Okay, that's it. Now let's save this off and let's try to run this. So I'll open the command prompt. Let me maximize it. Here I'll quickly go to the directory, and here I'll write Python, and the name of the file is pd.py, and enter. Okay, so when I press enter, now if you see, now it has taken a form of a table. So here name is the column, age is the column, city, and then Sam, Bob, and Ruby, these are under the name column. Age, these are the ages which we have given, as input, like 25, 30, and 45. And then the city, New York, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. Okay, so this is how you can go ahead and use the pandas library in order to perform your data manipulation, starting off from creating a table. Okay, now next, as I said, we want to save this particular table in the form of a CSV file. Okay, so CSV file, it's like an Excel sheets, Microsoft Excel, where you can actually go and edit it off, right? So here, how do you actually save it in a form of a CSV file? So let me minimize this off, and here, in order to save this in a CSV file, what you have to do, you have to take the variable df in which your table is there. So you'll just write df. Okay, so df dot to underscore CSV. Okay, and then inside the brackets you need to mention what particular name you want to use to save the file. Suppose I want to use let's say my output dot CSV. Okay, and then I'll also mention that the index should be false. It should not take any kind of index. Okay, it should be like how it is, like name should come, then age should come, then city should come, and then so on, like how we saw in the table. This one, similar should come up in my CSV file. Okay, so this is how you can save your particular data frame, like df dot to CSV you have to write, and then whatever your CSV file name is, that, and then you have to set the index false. If you have to set the index as true, then you are actually telling Python that yes, I am, name should be my priority, your age should be my priority, like that. Okay, so next what we have to just save this off, and if we try to run this code, what will happen is it will first of all just print this particular print statement, and then it will save this file to the file name that is my output. So here if I just write Python and then pd dot py, so here it gave me the table, and then it saved the file, okay, to this particular, that is my output.csv. Now let's check it out. So here in coding I have my file, so let me search up for my output if it has saved or not. Okay, so yeah, here it is. So this is my output which is there. Okay, my output. So now if I just double click and open this off, so this is the CSV file which got saved. And now if you see the CSV file, it has name, age, city, and then all the values of it, which we have given in our coding. Okay, and now you can edit over here, save it over here, you can edit and do all those stuffs, right? So this is how you can read your CSV file. I mean, like a data frame you have created with the help of pandas library, you can save it in a form of a CSV file. That means your Excel sheet, and you can manipulate or you can edit that Excel sheet. Okay, now that's the second thing. Next thing is, suppose you want to actually read your CSV file. You have a CSV file in your computer or in your laptops, and you want to read that CSV file in your coding. Okay, so for that, what you have to do, first you have to import the pandas. Okay, and then pd as a function, this one. And then what you have to do, you just have to take another variable. Let's say I take a variable as data1, and here I'll write pd dot read underscore CSV. Okay, and whatever name of your file is in your system, the CSV file. So my file name is my output dot CSV, right? This is what my file name was. Okay, now in this particular line of code, what will happen, it will read your CSV file. Okay, Python will read your CSV file, this CSV file which you have, it will read it. And suppose if what if I just want the first line of my table to come up. Like if you see it here, I just want my first line of the table to come up, like the first name, the first age, and the first city. Rest all I don't want. Okay, so for that, what you can do, next line you can just write print. The first line means the header of the table I just want, so you can write data dot head. Okay, now make sure this particular name is similar to your name which you have given to your table. Okay, so in our example, we gave the name as data. Same thing I have written over here. So whatever name you are giving in your project, use that name only. Same, it will apply to this as well. Whatever is your CSV file which is saved in your laptop or desktops or mobile phones, you have to use this particular name itself. Okay, then only it will work. So now what we have to do, we'll just save this off, and then we'll go to our, here I'll again write Python and then pd.py. Okay, so when I write this, okay, so here change this off so that it works. Okay, now if you see, this is what came up. Okay, now we actually want only the header part of this, right? To print only the first row, what you have to write, I.loc. Okay, in the print statement right over here. So what it will do, it will only print the first row of your data frame. That means it will print name equal to Alice, age equal to 25, and city equal to New York. That's it. So in order to print the first row of your data frame, you have to just mention the location of your table, your data frame. That means 0. Okay, and the function you want to use over there, it's iloc. Fine, that is I.loc. Now if I just save this off, okay, and if I open my terminal and just there, and I write Python pd.py, and once I press enter, now if you see, first name Alice, age 25, and then city New York, these only comes up in the output. Rest of the data frame or rest of the table will not come up in your output. This is only the output. Okay, so make sure you just write I.loc whenever you want to extract any particular row from your data frame. You want to extract the first row or the second row, then you have to just change the location of the number over here, that is 0. In place of that, you can put 1. Depends on how many rows you have in your data frame. Okay.